they don't have, a great many of them. But, who knows?
Yeah, interesting stuff. Wow. Rick, you're with us.
Yes, I am. Yeah, interesting topic I just heard.
It is. Well, you've got one too. Tell us about your company.
Yeah, that what I just heard was the second most interesting company I've heard for a while. And I bet you know the first one.
Yeah, you may want to invest in that company there, Rick. You never know. Yeah, go ahead.
You never do know. So I appreciate you guys having me back on. Thank you very much. And good morning to all.
Good morning.
So, Pressure Biosciences, OTC company, stock symbol PBIO. We are working our plan. In 2017, we released our first quarter earnings just a few minutes ago, and I'm happy to say that our total revenue, our products and services revenue, our consumable sales, and our gross margins are all up from the same quarter last year, and this is very rewarding, especially in light of the fact that our operating loss decreased while we increased everything else. So, very, very pleased with the results of the first quarter, and I think, but more importantly, we're also very pleased with the progress we've made in the non-financial area, in the operational area during the quarter. So things are certainly moving along as we've discussed several times before when you've been kind enough to have me on your show. We're making progress not just on the financial front, but also on the business and operational front.
Well, tell us where are you with your Pressure Bioscience machines?
I never thought you'd ask. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd say there's a few things. We did talk about several of these, but I want to reiterate them. On February 2nd, we received CE marking. What I think I should describe first is the machine itself, what we do. We're a life science tools company. We make instruments and consumables that are sold to research scientists all over the world. We believe there's as many as 500,000 researchers and about 80,000 labs that are studying biological samples. These are viruses and bacteria and cells, whether they're human or plant or animal, whether they're normal or cancerous or precancerous, doesn't matter. We're at the molecular age, and what's so important for us to make progress, to develop new drugs, new therapies, new strategic preventive medicines and protocols, and new vaccines, we need to get into the cells themselves and look at all of those, what we call biomolecules, the DNA, the RNA, the proteins, the lipids. These are the biomolecules that are going to lead us to the next cure, to the next preventive strategy. And we don't get to them through microscopes pretty much anymore. We get to them by breaking open cells and releasing them. And the higher quality you have in breaking the cell, the better chance you have of making a discovery. We actually have as our slogan, as our motto, discovery starts with sample preparation, because it all starts by how you prepare the sample, how you break the cell to free that enormously valuable material inside. And so we, as Pressure Biosciences, have developed and patented a whole new method. We call it pressure cycling technology. We actually cycle or turn pressure on and off onto the cells. So we'll put cells that have we want to study, that have the molecules inside them we want to study. We put them in specialized consumable test tubes. We put them in a small pressure chamber that's part of a machine we sell. We close the lid, we dial into the computer the amount of pressure, and we also dial in how many cycles, how many times do we want to turn it on and off, like squeezing a sponge. We squeeze the cell on and off, on and off, on and off until it breaks. But we can control how much pressure and how long under pressure and how many cycles. And because of that, we can pinpoint the exact amount of pressure it takes and the number of cycles of pressure to break open a cell in a way that breaks it open, I would call it gingerly, so that you may break the sample, but you release those enormously valuable molecules inside to be studied in a fashion that doesn't change them and keeps them as close as possible to what they look like inside the cell. And so pressure cycling technology is the basis of our instruments. We have 2 instruments in the field. We have 3 more in the back burner that we spent a few $1 million already making, and they're very close to coming out. We have probably close to 300 instruments already in the field, over 150 or 160 customers, the likes of which are the FBI, the FDA, the Centers for Disease Control, Stanford, UCLA, Cedars-Sinai, Rockefeller, Harvard, etc., and as well as Amgen, Biogen. We have a number of wonderful customers who are using it and publishing, and so that's what we do. We make the instrument that's being used to break open cells as the start, as the front part, as the upstream part of hopefully the next discovery, the next cure, the next vaccine, the next preventive strategy. So this instrument, which we call the barocycler or pressure cycler, we developed a whole new instrument that has far more bells and whistles and released it a few months ago. And on February 2nd, we received our CE marking, which allows us to sell the instrument throughout Europe, 31 countries. And in March, it was named in the North American Excellence Awards by Corporate American News as the best new instrument for sample preparation in 2017. And also in March, we announced that we had hired a lead generation service. And as you recall, we only have one salesperson in this company. We said early in this year we're going to add 4. We now have, we think, everything we need to start aggressively commercializing the product. So we've hired 2, and we've actually interviewed 2 more, and we'll be making job offers to these 2 in the next couple of days. So all of this is happening alongside of the march towards our uplist. We announced months ago, and late in November 2016, that we wanted to move the company up to the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. It's a process that takes a number of months. We've been at it since November, December, and I've said before, I'll say again, we are optimistic that we will be successful in moving up to the NASDAQ exchange before the end of the second quarter, which gives us just about 6 more weeks. So the progress there has been measurable. The progress in our instruments measurable, and of course with the numbers that came out today, we're showing that even without a sales team yet, even with one person working part-time, we've been able to continue to increase quarter over quarter the sales of the company, and particularly the sales of our instruments and our consumables.
Now that you have the CE for Europe, were either one of those new hires sales-wise on the European continent, or are they both U.S.-based?
No, it's a good question. We did hire about a year ago, we did hire a German company that has a footprint in Germany, but they're also expanding throughout all of Europe. So I think things are really coming together in that our European sales we expect, which have not been strong, understandably, because we didn't have a CE mark. We're expecting a lot from about this point on in our European sales. We have a new Japanese distributor that we're expecting a lot of, and also in the U.S., we have 2 field sales managers that have been hired and are being trained. In fact, our massive training, our large training starts next week, where they're coming in, and we have 2 more that will be making job offers due. So it's exciting times when you think about going forward with a brand new instrument and 4 salespeople, which up to now have not impacted our sales at all because they're just coming on board, or they haven't even come on board yet. So we're excited about what this will mean for, the end of the second quarter and the third and fourth quarter this year, having this new sales team and the new distributors overseas, and of course on the stock end, hopefully having our NASDAQ listing within before the end of the quarter.
Rick, I think it's fascinating because you've already got your machines in. When you were naming the institutions, it's like a who's who already. So, I mean, you couldn't have gotten off to a better start in that regard.
No, we're very excited about that, and I'm glad you point that out. It is, in our business, probably the best way to sell, and probably in other businesses too, but certainly in the science area, the best way to sell a new product, to break a paradigm that's existed for years and years, decades even, is to get key opinion leaders to use your product, and then not just to use it, but to talk about it in their discussions and publish it in their publications, their chapters, and that's what's happened. We have over 100 publications now, many from key opinion leaders, many from the customers that I've named that are talking about the true advantages of breaking open cells using a very controllable method rather than just banging away and getting what you get. So it is exciting to have such companies, such laboratories, such key opinion leaders that are supporting us. To that point, even today, as we speak, Professor Rudy Aebersold, who is generally regarded as maybe in the top three, some regard him as the top protein chemist in the entire world. He is in Boston. He's won a major award at the Barnett Institute, part of Northeastern University, and he has accepted that award today and yesterday, and he's given a talk where he will be talking about proteins and the discovery of new proteins and the discovery of development of new drugs based on proteins. And when he does this, he usually talks about the importance of sample preparation, of how you prepare the sample to even begin your studies. And he has consistently talked about Pressure Biosciences and our PCT, Pressure Cycling Technology platform. And I saw him on Friday, and he told me with a smile that he expects to tell the audience today about sample prep and to use us as an example of a terrific method, and the method that they use in their laboratories in Zurich, Switzerland. So excited about that for sure.
Yeah, not bad having the number one guy in the world talk about your device. Holy smokes. That's great.
Not bad at all.
Great news.
Especially in our hometown of Boston. So it's there's a lot of people coming in, as I understand it, to listen to his award presentation. So we have people there today, and we're excited about it. And certainly when you get someone of the stature and respect of Professor Rudy Aebersold, then that is using your product and telling people that he uses your product. It is as good a sales pitch in a way, spreading the word, than if we advertised in 100 journals. Because when you have someone of that stature and they're using a product, many others want to at least look at that product.
Well, sure, yeah. Then, of course, it becomes a lemming effect. So it's like, that doesn't hurt at all. That's absolutely phenomenal. Great news on your part there. Well, Rick, what amazes me is you are in, I think, for decades, Boston research companies and I don't care what it is, whether it's medicine or electronics, seem to be at the forefront in the United States. It's fascinating to watch, all of them.
Well, I've been very blessed in my life. I came down and was given the opportunity to Harvard Medical School to come in for a year and do research before continuing my studies if I wanted to on to medical school. I decided, quite frankly, guys, back a few centuries ago when this happened, I decided I didn't really want to be a physician. I'd rather be a research scientist, and I also love business. And unfortunately, back in those days, it was very hard to mix the two. But as time has gone, it's become well accepted that you can mix science and business, that there's nothing unethical about it. You just need to be careful on how you do it, but you certainly can mix the two. So I've been very blessed to be able to mix science and business all my career, and to have it right here in Boston, which is, clearly one of the leading centers of science and biotechnology in the world. So I look back and we lost a pioneer a couple of days ago, Henry Tremere, who was the early CEO of Genzyme, which was then bought after 30 years by Sanofi. He passed away Friday. He was a mentor to so many of us here in Boston. So sad to see him go so early. He was just 71. And but there's so many companies that have sprung up in the Boston area from Henry and from many others who have mentored people. I enjoy it very much. I can't think of a better place I'd rather live, especially if I'm going to be in the field I've been in.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's you've got a phenomenal story, and your company is just on the verge of really exploding. So congratulations to you, all the late news, and then updating us on the NASDAQ situation. I think that's fascinating. Charles or Mike, any more questions for Rick?
Not really. I'm pretty much up to date on it. I could use the symbol, though.
Yeah, what's a stock symbol?
PBIO. PBIO.
Pressure Biosciences.
Website address?
Yeah. PressureBiosciences.com. So there's a lot on the website, a lot of information about this exciting technology and the hard-working team that's bringing it to fruition. So we appreciate everyone, if they have the time, to take a look and see what we're doing here at Pressure Biosciences.
And how long does it take someone to learn how to use all of the equipment?
Well, we have several people who are experts in training. So I would say that when we install an instrument, we usually plan 1 to 2 days for training. And it is something which, like most things, it's a complicated science. It took many years to design it and build it. But once it's built, they don't need to know how it works. They just need to know how to work it. And we're able to reduce that to several days to train them. Now, that said, every molecule, every piece of tissue, every cell has its own pressure point. And so they can learn to use it, but then they will be doing what we call trial and error for many, many months or years, because every time they want to look at a new piece of tissue or a new type of cell, they're going to have to figure out how much pressure, how long under pressure, and how many cycles of pressure. But they're taught how to do that, and then they're able to pinpoint the exact amount of pressure that they need to put onto this cell to not over-break it or under-break it, but to break it hopefully at the exact right point so they get the best quality possible from the cell.
Well, Ric Schumacher of Pressure Biosciences, thank you so much. And to Sean Folkson at ByNightFood.com, both of you guys, phenomenal stories, so keep it going. You've been listening to Money Info, brought to you by Princeton Research. Don't forget that newsletter comes out every Sunday. Mike King, Charles Moskowitz putting it out. Boy, 19-20 pages of great information. You've been listening to Money Info from Fraser Coast Lexus Studios. WPSL. This is WPSL.